Hello and welcome to another EU4 video by yours truly, Ludi. I ate Ludi and now I am Ludi. I might cough him up later on. Today we're going to talk about my personal favorite hordes and why I think these are the best hordes, and I'll give you some logical arguments, okay? Obviously we all know what's the number one horde, but let's talk about the other hordes before we talk about the number one horde, and also let's talk about why that one is the number one, of course. So the first horde is of course Syracuse. The reason why Syracuse is on this list, of course, is because it's yellow, one of the only yellow hordes, and it's also a bit of a challenge. You start with the horrible leader 121. You start with a typical default Oyrats style mission tree, and with 2 provinces. That being said, Syracuse is secretly a really great horde because it's one of the most fun hordes to play as. You start off as a 2-province miner, but you get to eat all of the Tibetan lands really fast. You have your gold mine in the province here of Taparang and Guje that was added in the recent patches. That's going to help you out a lot. You also have another gold mine in Kuka, so you got 2 gold mines within reach, and more than that, you have access to India very early on. You can ally the Oyrats so you don't have any trouble with the hordes in the north, and then you eat up all of the Indian parts, and after you ate up all of India, you're going to be so rich you can just go on a killing spree or a world conquest, whatever you want, as this 2-province miner nation. And the fact that you start as nothing and you become a massive blob, that's a great feeling to have, you know? Not like when you start as a massive Uzbek nation and then you just, you know, become even more massive. Next up, we're gonna be talking about Mongolia, okay? Mongolia is a special horde, not only because it starts as a vassal of another horde, as a vassal of the Oyrats, but Mongolia does have a unique achievement that you can get as them. You can get it as other hordes as well, but it's nicer if you get it as the original horde. Plus, they're green. The map color is what it's all about in this game, and it's green, boys. It's green, okay? You also have some great national ideas. You get manpower, separatism, land maintenance, cav combatability, aggressive expansion, core creation minus 25, and envoy travel time, as well as movement speed plus 10. So all of these combined, these are basically some of the best national ideas for world conquest, obviously, alongside the national ideas of other hordes, but these are my personal favorite, at least. As someone very smart said in the chat right now, map color is more important than ideas and tech, and I fully agree. That's why Nogai is on my list as well. First off, Nogai Nogai has the best capital name you've never heard of, really. I'm kidding, okay? It's a joke. Please don't demonetize me. I love you, YouTube. Aside from the awesome map color, you start with the generic horde ideas. They're not amazing, but they do give you 25% core creation cost eventually, same like the Mongolian ideas from before, and you also get manpower and so on. I personally prefer to change the ideas to the golden horde ideas whenever I form the golden horde. Speaking of, you can, as Nogai, form the golden horde very easily and very fast. If you rush it, you can form the golden horde in the first 10 years of the game, and then afterwards you can just form Yuan and then just go on a world conquest as Nogai. Not to mention, they're extremely well positioned. You have really easy access to the east, and by east I mean Uzbek east, and to the west into the great horde. I promise I know the difference between east and west, okay? And not only that, but look at this Chad Griffin slash whatever the schnapps this thing is on the flag. I mean, have you ever seen something more cool than that? Let's be frank here, boys. Let's be frank here. And that map name, imagine a whole world with this name, okay? Just put that into perspective. Next up is Jiangsu. Jiangsu is a really cool nation because they're one of the Jurchen tribes, and the Jurchens and the Manchus, they have their unique units, the banner units. Essentially, these units are special units that you get based on the amount of Jurchen slash Manchu provinces that you have culture-wise, and they give you plus 5 discipline, and they only cost 25% manpower. So that means one regiment has 1,000 manpower, but it only consumes 250 manpower. So the other 750 manpower comes out of thin air. They're clearly aliens. This is the alien civilization we've always been waiting for in EU4, clearly. But that being said, the reinforcement speed is 50% less, so it's really hard to reinforce these guys. Make sure you do not lose battles with these units. That's what it means essentially, right? Plus, maintenance costs 50%, so they're cheaper as well. These guys are absolutely amazing. Hard to reinforce, so keep that in mind, because that can be a bit of a pain if you don't know how to properly do it. Aside from that, Jiangsu has a special identity here crisis. Identity crisis? Yes, has a special identity crisis. Essentially, you can form Manchu whenever you get 20 provinces that are Jurchen. You have the province of Jilin as well under your control. And then you get a core on all of the Manchurian provinces. All of this region here, Manchuria, you get core. So you can kill Haixi at the start. You can kill Donghai and a couple more provinces from Nanai, and then, not Donghai, Orochoni, and a couple more from here. And then you get cores on the rest of this. So you don't even need to core anything here except 20 provinces, including your starting, 13 provinces. That's it. That's all you got to core. And then the rest of this, like an extra 20 provinces plus, you get for free as cores, including these provinces in Shenyang. You get cores on these two. So that's pretty epic in my opinion. And then obviously after you form Manchuria, you can also form Qing, and you can get the Qing achievement, and you can go in a world conquest if you don't want to form Qing, because Manchuria is a great nation to form and a great nation to do a world conquest as. You also get great ideas, and Manchurian ideas are also really great as well, and give you even more banner units that you can possibly have. Next on this list is obviously going to be Kazan, for the simple reason that Kazan has very easy access into Muscovy, and Muscovy at the start, if you're fighting the Muscovites and you know what you're doing, that means you have a little bit of experience in EU4, you can easily kill off Muscovy, and you can just take all of these juicy lands for yourself as Kazan. And after you've consolidated Eastern Europe, let's say, the western part of Europe is going to be a cakewalk. Plus, you can of course also kill your fellow hordes here. But aside from that, what makes Kazan shine out of all of these nations is their national ideas. They get the minus 25% core creation cost earlier than the other hordes on this list. Plus, they get religious unity, they get manpower as well, and they get the aggressive expansion impact from the start, so you can actually take a little bit extra stuff without worrying about any sort of a coalition. Not that you would normally worry about that stuff as a horde. And of course, the color is amazing. That's also why it's on my list, of course. And the best of the best of the best is Oyrats. Everybody knows Oyrats is the greatest horde in EU4. There's a really great reason why the Oyrats is a great horde, because they get a special event at the start. Okay, they also start with the Mongolians as a vassal. That's not why though. The reason why is because they get the Tumo Crisis events after you fight Ming and you defeat the Ming Emperor in battle. That's all you gotta do. You get a bonus, Ming gets a debuff, and then after you occupy Beijing, you get the entirety of northern Ming occupied instantly, including the forts, and their mandate sinks to 0. So their troops are going to be paper troops, meaning 20,000 of your units can stack wipe 50,000 of their units in any engagement. It's that freaking ridiculous. Yes. So that means you essentially have infinite amounts of land you can take from here, and money, most importantly, from Ming. Plus, you have easy expansion into the west, easy expansion into the east and into the south. Oyrats is the best positioned horde in the game, as well as the most fun horde to play as, since it's so easy to play as them. It's probably the easiest horde, but if you don't know what you're doing, it can be the hardest horde. So keep that in mind. And watch my Oyrats video where I explain exactly how you do that. And I also show you how you can form the Mongol Empire by 1500. There's one more nation on this list that is a horde, but it doesn't start at the beginning as a horde. It's a horde that you can form. You guys probably know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Tibet, of course. You can form Tibet after you've gotten most of the provinces here in the Tibetan plateau. There you go. I think we can do it now. Form Tibetan nation. And Tibet does not start as a horde, but so after you embrace feudalism and unite the tribes, you will get this mission here, Steppe Politics, for which you need to have an ally that is a horde, right? So let's yes man this and ally the Oyrats. Daria go. Then after you do this event, you get the option of becoming a horde. Keep in mind, a lot of the world conquests done by players involve forming Tibet and doing this mission here, because doesn't matter what your situation is, all you need to do is do this mission, simple, easy to do mission, and you can become a horde. It's super overpowered. It's an easy way to do a lot of the hard achievements like eat your greens and so on. Then you get an option to either form Khalkha, Koshud, or you can form Dzungar. You can form Dzungar if you ally, I believe, Chagatai or Mongolia. So the options that you get for the hordes depends on who you ally. All right, so let's say we form Koshum, right? Or Khalkha. Now Khalkha starts as a horde, and you can do all the things that hordes do, even though you did not start as a horde. Massive brain right there. You can use this in your game. games, guys. And if you enjoyed the video, consider watching more of these videos and subscribe for more stuff like this in the future, I guess. Also, check me out on Twitch. You'll find the link in the description.